Hello everybody, today we are jumping back onto the ranked ladder with Trunks. Trunks is a weird one for me. I enjoy playing the deck, I just don't think it's up there with the blue leaders currently. It's a fun deck, don't get me wrong. I have put together quite a few changes to the list which I think will hopefully give it a boost in power and maybe be able to compete at that level of ranked. We'll see what we get here. This looks like a lower ranked player, but recently my lower ranked players have all had like top tier decks, which has been really good. This isn't the best, but we will keep. We do have a Goten, we have a Self Awakener, so we'll see what we can do here. But yeah, the last sort of 3 or 4 games I've had with lower ranked players, and I think some of them have even been on the channel, but they've been really cracked lists, like proper competitive tier 1 lists that I would expect to see. But yeah, Trunks is a leader that I think is it's very uniquely positioned. It's not great for this meta. That's a great turn 1 there, so we're going to charge a go 10. But I don't think that Trunks is uniquely positioned in the meta right now. I think that blue kind of holds it back in terms of like its 7 or less gimmick. But other than that, I do think that the leader is pretty strong, and I think that going into future sets it could also be very strong. And I think we just pass here. Trunks is a leader that we want to get to that Awaken as quickly as possible. We do want to sort of hit that Awaken by turn 2, maybe turn 3 at the very latest, depending on matchups and how things are going. He didn't have a turn 1 Self Awakener, so we may look to stave off a turn. So we'll see what happens here. We're currently on 8. I think, depending on what we end up drawing here, I would love to see a 2-drop Goten so that we can bounce this back to hand. But we are going to take a damage here. And obviously Mai is dead. So we take this. And we have a Final Hope Slash, which isn't bad either. We could put this Final Hope Slash onto this Goten if we want to, and then in the following turn we can add it back with the Pilaf. We are going to take, we're just going to go for this Awaken. We're not going to be able to play around this 8-card hand this turn, and the second Pilaf is great for us. I think we charge one of these, we don't need 2. So we'll just go ahead and flip, and then we'll just start swinging at the hit. We'll make him burn some cards from hand if he wants to protect it, and then worst case scenario we can just bounce it back. This is one of the additions we put into the deck. It is a 7 or fewer again, but you know, it's one of those cards where if we are dumping for turn or dumping for game, let's say on the leader swing, you just play it and then, you know, just rely on your Final Hopes and stuff like that. And your leader being a 30k at that point is pretty strong. So let's see what we're gonna do here. I think we still do the Goten. I don't think we need to Final Hope Slash it though, because it's looking very unlikely that. Actually, yeah, we could Final Hope Slash and just start putting on that pressure, but there's no reason to. So we could do this instead and just bounce it back. No, I think I would rather have the board present, so we'll put Goten out. We're not going to Final Hope Slash it, I don't really see the point here. It's 15k, he's probably going to take it. And if he doesn't take, we're fine with that as well. Actually, we maybe could have Final Hope Slash there. We'll see. I don't think it really would have made that much of a difference. We're not going to bounce it back either. I'm not particularly bothered if this goes to drop because we can recycle it with Pilaf as well. We will likely play a Self Awakener. There we go. And then that gives us a target to return to hand as well. This is a big energy investment. It does kill things 20k or less, but honestly a lot of our board isn't going to stick around. So we don't really mind it. I think we'll just give him a 5. We don't have any super combos, and I believe, I might be wrong, but I think I cut the Gallic Guns from the deck as well, which for me was a hard one. I think Gallic Gun is so good. I'm trying to put together a list that I've seen play in God tier. Mine's is slightly different, but they didn't run Gallic Gun either, and I'm not sure if that's the way to play it or not, but I just think that Gallic Gun is really, really good. Once we start getting to that 8-card hand, we really need it for defensive purposes, and obviously it recycles cards as well. We could dump 2 cards from hand here, because that'll put us at around that 8-card hand. Yeah, I think we do. So I think we're going to combo... We can recycle this later, so we're going to combo that, and then I think we just combo this as well. So we have a Go 10, which isn't much help at the minute. I think we can charge one of these, we don't need both. We're just going to swing at lead, maybe not actually. What do we have in drop currently? So we have the Haramaki, we have that, okay. I think we go lead into lead. I think we pop on a Final Hope Slash. Because we can just bounce this whenever we want. So we'll go 40, we'll make him spend some cards or take the damage. Our problem is our hand isn't very good. We don't have really many options defensively. My problem is that if I peel off now, it's just going to die. It's not going to survive. So is that 11 in hand? It's a tough one. I don't really care if this gets bottom decked, honestly. I might just swing at lead for 30 and then just bottom deck this. Oh, not bottom deck, sorry, bounce it back to hand off the leader skill. We will go down to 7, and the defensive turn is going to be pretty rough for us, I think, but we'll do it. You normally can, if you are playing this, it is the ideal card to bounce back to hand, because obviously we can play it multiple times in a turn if you have the energy, plus it is a 10k combo. But it's not bad at poking either, especially into 20k leaders. And this is a 0k, so if we bounce this back to hand, we're not really stressing about any combo power. So we got... I'm not really sure why he overcomboed. But yeah, we're going to return that. Obviously this gets bottom decked anyway, but that's a 0k in hand now, which we know of. And then we can just pass. Depending on what he plays, we could just go straight into the 5-drop, just remove whatever he puts out. We could also play this, which will do the same thing more or less. Apart from this goes back to hand, obviously this bottom decks, but the 35k, it's, if we have super combos and things, I'm more than happy to defend it. Just with their 5-drop minus in it by 20k, we need a super combo to stabilize that power. Because obviously their 5-drop will be 40k. I think I'm fine taking this one, because it puts us back up to 8 cards as well. Have another Go 10. I hate this card. I really, really don't like this card. I think we can charge a Go 10 for now. I don't want to swing, or I don't want to just play this to remove this, so we might just do some Pilaf looping this turn. We're at 8, so let's just do it now. We'll add back the final Hope Slash. We will swing lead. We will pop the final Hope Slash onto that as well. We could combo Pilaf. Is it worth it? 40k I think is fine. Yeah, we're not going to select to bounce the Pilaf here. I think what I would rather do is play Trunks and then just dump a 10k onto that, so that would be a 35k attack. This is the power of the Final Hope Slash and Pilaf combo. You know, we can just recycle this card on repeat pretty much, and with it being a plus 20k, it bounces 2 or less, which is obviously a small number, but against red it's pretty good. They have a lot of 2-drop cards, you know, like the hit, the 2-drop Krillin, if they run the Android 18, things like that, and obviously if they're running TNs, which will likely be a 4 of in this match, or 4 of in this deck. So he's back to 10 cards in hand. Let's just go ahead and play the Trunks. Do we do this actually? Ooh, what do we do here? I don't want to spend the energy marker yet. I think us going to 6 would be great, because if we draw into our Goku Black, that would be perfect for us. We have a couple of good targets here between the Gotenks and this. We don't have any good Trunks or Gotenks. You kind of want to get... Well, I suppose we'll get this one. It's kind of the same thing. Oh no, wait, it needs to be 2, I believe, actually, doesn't it? Yeah, 2 or less. Oh no, 2 or less, so we can't add that. What are we going to do here? We could go for pressure. I think that is just the better choice. Let's just put this out. We're not going to add the life. We'll swing, we'll put a 10k on it. It'll probably be a super combo and he's out, but that's fine. Oh no, he's not. Okay. And then we are just going to bounce that Trunks back to hand. We can't target that with it being a 4 cost. He is likely going to try and 5-drop us this turn if any of these damages go through, so we're probably going to have to spend a large part of our hand with us not seeing super combos or having access to Gallic Gun. That's kind of the issue. The thing about this card that it irks me, but at the same time I can kind of understand. Oh no, wait, it is an on-play effect actually. Never mind. Yeah, it's on play. It gains plus 10. Yeah, I was about to say I thought that it was like a permanent where you had to have this on board. So he's at 40. We're just going to play this. We're not going to tap 3 for it, and that gets us out of the attack. Now we have the issue here. We only have 40k combo power, right? That's all we have. So depending on how much he dumps onto this, we could be in trouble if he's looking to just go into the double striker. Obviously he doesn't know how much combo power we have, but the fact that we didn't super combo there into that last attack probably tells him we don't have one. So he's gone 40, we are going to have to spend 30 here. What we're going to do is we're going to combo this off, because if we Pilaf we can add this back. Yeah, unfortunately we don't really have a way. The Final Hope Slash is better. So that's 40, let's go 50. He's making his plays very obvious, you know, it's definitely the right play. Obviously he wants to get us with the double striker. But he's kind of telegraphing the entire turn by comboing on both of those attacks. So we know that we just need to get out of those attacks and then we're out of that threat range. If he decides to play the double striker and swing for, 40 double, we're gonna take, but it's not lethal range now. And there it is. So, looking at charges, there has been none of the Gokus are in there. That's a really good draw for us. So I think we are going to skip charge, because we're going to have to dump heavily onto one attack. It's the only way we're going to win here. But we returned a Goku 0k to hand. He's not discarded it and he's not charged it. So we know that one of these cards is dead. There could be multiple, but at least one of them is dead, right? The problem is if he has super combos, because we have none. Yeah, we're gonna skip charge. We're just gonna go lead to lead here. That might be a great card actually, that Gotenks. Because he is only on 1 life. And for the 5 energy we have, we can do both. And he'll add back 2 10Ks. And then we'll add back the final hope slash... Actually, no, because we need 6 energy. We should have charged this. Right, okay, so we can't do that now. Can we do this twice? No, we can't, because again, the Pilaf and the final hope slash would be a problem. Yeah, if he has multiple supers, we lose this. I mean, at best, we can put 35k onto this. 20 from the final hope, 5 from this. Sorry, 10 from this. So it'd be 30, 60, and then this is a 5. So unfortunately, our draws are ass. It might be better just to poke with 2 Trunks Futures attacks, and then we play the Pilaf, combo that in the second attack, and then obviously we just combo a 10k. That might be the better play. So we're going to have to do that, I think. We're not going to be able to final hope slash. We're just going to leave it at 30. The 5k is not going to change much. Like I said, we know one of these is a dead card, right? So there's a 10, and then there's a 10. Okay, so if he has super combos, then I think we lose, but it's the best we can do. So we're going to bounce this back. We are going to play Pilaf. It doesn't honestly matter which 10k we add back at this stage, but we'll just go Pilaf into Pilaf. We'll play this again. And then we're going to have to swing here. So we have 55, right? If he has 2 supers, he's out. 1... Oh, it's close. One of them's a dead card. There we go. Cool. So we just had to be very aware of obviously what we return to our opponent's hand as well. We knew that we added that 3-drop Goku back to his hand, and it's a 0k combo and he didn't charge it, and I mean red doesn't discard, so there's no reason to assume it wouldn't still be in his hand. But yeah, that's essentially what we want to try and do with Trunks. I do think I kind of want to change the list again. Gallic Gun for me is just such a staple for blue. Did I cut it entirely? I did. I might have to find some spots to put the Gallic Gun back in. But this is the list that we're running with at the minute. Zamasus are there just to remove 1-drops, and it's a 10k combo, which is always good. The Haru and Maki I haven't run in any of my lists, but I really should have, because turning your leader into a 30k and then comboing it off, making it a 40k is absolutely insane. It's such good value. Plus it's an air thing, so we can recycle it with the Pilaf. We only run 3 Mais. Again, it's a space issue, but the amount of times where I've played Trunks where we actually bounce our opponent's cards back to hand when we have a Mai already established and we're at 7 or less cards is it doesn't happen very often. And Trunks is a leader that can actually survive just by not awakening that turn 2. It's a great effect, don't get me wrong, but it's it's really only good in that example of what we just saw in that game, where like bouncing that 3-drop back to hand, and it ends their turn if they do it again. And you know, if we don't have a board established, he's not killing anything in turn, so it's really dependent on the player as to whether or not they're going to replay it. Or I must admit, the Krillin play for me was a strange one. I 100% would have opted to play the Goku over the Krillin in that scenario, so that definitely was a misplay on his part. But we also run 4 Go-10s. This is another reason. The Go-10 is there, you know, in turn 2, for example, or turn 3, depending on, you know, the stages of the game and stuff. Our first play is we could play the Go-10 to maybe put us from 8 to 7, let's say, or 9 to 8. Then we can tap 1 for the Haru and Maki to put us to 7, which will give the Trunks the buff. So we can swing for 30k, and then we can also swing for 25 between these two. So I do like the ability to just buff this Go-10 to the point where it is a consistent threat. It's definitely why it's in the deck. It's really, really strong. Plus it's a 10k, again, recyclable from the Pilaf, and it can be added back with this Go-10. We run 2 of the cantrips. This one for me is a strange one. I always love to run my cantrips at 4, but I just don't think Trunks gets that much value. You know, if we're playing against red that's going to get killed on the turn it gets played, I would much rather have this to remove my opponent's 1-drops. I think that's far more important. Plus with this being a 10k, you know, so again, we can, you know, turn 2, play the Zamasu, bottom deck a 1-drop, play the Go-10 and swing and combo if we want. So that's what I like in the deck. We run 3 of these Trunkses, which are the one we used to win that game. It can essentially be a dual attack with our leader skill, but you are paying 4 for it. But paying 4 for a 30k dual attacker is very good in my opinion. Plus it's a 10k combo, always helpful. The Go-10 and the Trunks, we just run them at 4 ofs. There are self-awakeners as well. Go-10 obviously removes board, Trunks becomes 25k, so again, you know, with a Pilaf or with a Maki, we can turn that into a big threat. We run 4 Trunkses, self-awakener, and it removes big boards, it removes anything with a high energy cost. It's just good control for that point. We run 2 of these Gohans, which is also a new addition. This is when we're at 7 or fewer cards in hand as a permanent on our turn. It's a 35k attacker. Again, it's just a big threat. So I like that. This Vegeta for me is, I think it's one of the most underrated cards in blue. I don't see it in many lists, but 4 energy, 20k dual attack, and once per turn bottom deck a 1-drop, right? 20k twice is very good in this meta. It depends on your matchup. Obviously, if you're playing Broly, it's not very good, but other leaders are all 20ks. This is a great card into them. Plus, it's playable off the Goku Black. We run 2 of the Gotenks, again for the same reason, to play it off the Goku Black, or we can tap 4 and you know, recycle a couple of these. So depending on our energy, like that turn would have went much smoother, I believe, had we had that extra energy. So had I charged this 5-drop Vegeta that turn, I would have had the Gotenks. I then could have Pilaf to recycle recycle the Final Hope Slash, play the Gotenks, recycle 2 of these, and then for that turn, this is 25, so then we would go 35, 45, 55, 75, just from the cards we recycled, right? And that's very, very strong. So it's definitely in there for that purpose. It's a good card. I think, again, 2's fine. I don't think I would go more than 2. You could argue 3, but I don't know what I would cut for it. I don't want to cut this. I think having it at 2 is fair as well. So, and then we run 3 Vegetas. Double Strike removes a 4 less on play. It's a great card. The Goku Black we only run 1 of. Again, it's not the way we look to win the matches with Trunks and Blue. So it's there as a 1-off. If we see it, it's beautiful. If not, it doesn't really change anything. 4 super combos, which we saw none of that game, and then 3 Final Hope Slash. So if I was to make any adjustments to the deck, I could potentially just cut these Trunkses altogether, if I'm honest, and just run 2 Gallic Guns. I think Gallic Gun defensively is really needed in blue decks. For us to essentially stay at that 8-card hand, whenever our opponent's swinging with a 30k, so U7 being the perfect example, that 3-drop Goku, they swing for 30k, you're a 20k leader, they're likely not going to combo because, you know, 30k is the most difficult number to deal with in Fusion World for a 20k leader. So we just tap 1, Gallic Gun, and then for no cards in hand, we go out the attack, right? So I do like Gallic Gun for that reason. I just need to figure out ratios and what I could change and where I could fit it in. But I'm happy with the deck so far. I've played a few games now with this. First one that I've recorded, but yeah, the deck feels really, really comfortable now, and I am getting a lot better with blue in general. So it could just be, you know, that as well as helping. But give the deck a try, guys, if it is something that interests you. I think that the leader is unique. I just think that blue in general holds it back. I think that all of this utility can just be better utilized in Vegeta personally. Obviously different ratios here and there, but I think that Vegeta is definitely still the better blue leader. But I mean, I have the alt art leader. We've got to go for it, right? So, guys, I appreciate and thank you very much for all the support recently, all the new subs, all the views recently have been absolutely incredible. The channel has grown massively in the short time I've had it. I've only had it live for just over 3 weeks now, so really, really appreciate all the support, guys. And if you have any comments around the deck, any discussions we want to have, hit me up in the comments. And I always try to respond to comments when I get a chance to. Unfortunately, I do work, so it does kind of refrain the time I have for that. But definitely, I'm always interested in deck discussions and theory craft and things like that. But guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe and like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.